I spent $200 on a fancy planner in December 2019. Filled out January with color-coded perfection. Found it in a drawer in March, completely abandoned. For years, I thought that meant I was going to be a failure at business because I don't have any executive functioning skills. Turns out, I just have ADHD and I hate future planning. And every productivity guru planning system I tried was designed for a brain that works completely different to mine. Today I'm showing you the planning process that actually works for creative, easily distracted, beautifully chaotic brains like mine. If traditional planning makes you want to cry, this episode is going to change everything. Hello and welcome to episode number 329 of the Launch Lounge podcast. I am your host, Salome Shellac. I love that you're here with me. If you're brand new, I can't wait to get to know you. And we are very deep into this 12-part series designed to set you up for a profitable and joyful 2026. If you haven't already, hit follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Do so now so you don't miss the rest of the series. We're coming to the tail end because we're literally building your 2026 business together, episode by episode in November and December. Today's episode is called Your 2026 Success Map Starts Now, My Planning Process Revealed. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how I plan my year now as a neurodivergent ADHD entrepreneur who has zero interest in forcing myself into someone else's neurotypical system. This is the same process I'm using to plan my 2026. It's simple, it's flexible, and it's built around three things: profit, joy, and how my brain actually works. So if traditional planning has never worked for you, take a deep breath. You're in good company. You're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. You just need a different map. Now, let me tell you why I used to hate end of the year planning. I want to take you back to pretty much every December. For the first few years of my business, everyone online is in this new year, new you, new planner, new goals, get it. There's vision boards flying and color-coded annual planners showing up on my newsfeed. People printing those big wall calendars and mapping out the perfect launch every quarter. And I would try because my obsessive brain loves planning, just doesn't love implementing the plan. So I'd buy the planner. I'd write out the goals, map out the launches, and highlight things in 7 different colors because some guru told me that that's our CEO's plan. And then by February, I couldn't even find the planner. Or it's stuck on the wall and I don't even see it anymore. My plans didn't feel exciting anymore because I probably overcommitted. I'd already changed my mind about 7 things on the planner, and it made me feel like a failure because somewhere in my brain, I associated executive functioning with successful people. So I made it mean something about me. I'm not disciplined enough. I must not want it enough. Why can other people stick to a plan and I can't? And fast forward a few years, I get diagnosed with ADHD. I sign up for a lot of therapy, and I learn that my brain is different. It is literally wired differently when it comes to time, planning, and long-term consistency. It was like someone handed me the missing puzzle piece. And suddenly it made sense. Why big, detailed yearly plans made me want to cry. Why I loved the idea of mapping everything out, but I couldn't follow it past week 3. and why the more rigid the system was, the faster I abandoned it. And here's the most important bit about all this is it wasn't that I couldn't plan. It was that I was trying to plan like a person whose brain works like the majority of people who tell us that's how our brains are supposed to work. But mine doesn't. And once I realized that, I gave myself permission to do two things. To stop trying to plan my year like the neurotypical gurus and start planning a process that actually supports my beautiful, messy, big picture, needs to go down rabbit holes, allocate my energy in different ways so that I build the business I want. And that's what I want for you in 2026. Whether you have ADHD or not, if you've ever felt like you're bad at planning, I want you to try on a new belief. Maybe I'm not bad at planning. Maybe I just haven't found the way that works for me yet. And today I'll show you my way. And then you get to tweak it and make it your own. My 2026 planning process has 4 big pieces. Analyze what actually worked through a profit and an energy lens. Block off time for holidays and deep thinking, and then double it. Cut things that no longer serves me, and choose my 3 revenue drivers and commit to list building for each one. Now, if you've been here for most of this 12-part series, you'll remember we went deep into step 1, analyzing your numbers, back in episode number 325, called How to Audit Your 2025 Revenue, what worked, what didn't, and what to double down on. So today, I'll just give you the high-level version of that, and then we'll move on to how I actually turned that audit into a simple, flexible 2026 success map. That's a tongue twister. 2026 success map. You don't need a fancy planner for this. You just need a notebook or a Google Doc, whichever you prefer. I prefer notebooks. I do use Google Docs as well, but because a Google Doc can be put away, if I don't see it, I forget about it. So I have a little moleskin book that lies on my desk. You can use your calendar, and you need about an hour to think honestly. So ready? Let's build your map. Step number 1, analyze what worked from a profit and an energy perspective. The very first thing I do is not to dream about next year. It's to look back at this year, because your 2026 success map is sitting inside your 2025 data. Again, if you want the full walkthrough, go back to episode 325. But here's the simple version I use when I sit down to plan. Instead of making you imagine a spreadsheet right now, which you might want to do if you're sitting behind a desk, but maybe if you're out on a walk, just imagine this for me for a sec. Just take yourself through 4 quick questions about your biggest offers from 2025. You can always come back and do this again with a notebook or a Google Doc. But for now, if you're out there, if you're in the gym, wherever, I know you don't have anything to write, but just try to sit with these questions. First, imagine you're writing down a list called Things I Sold or Spent a Lot of Time On in 2025. That might include your main course or programs, any big launches you did, services or client projects, maybe a membership or a group program, or any big collaboration that took a lot of your energy. Now, for each one, I want you to quickly ask yourself 4 questions. You don't have to be exact. Gut feels are perfect here. Question 1, money in. On a scale from 1 to 10, how good was this for revenue? 1 is barely anything. 10 is brought in some serious cashola. Question 2, money kept. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good was this for profit? Not just what came in, but what did you actually keep after ads, contractors, tools, team, all the things? Sometimes something looks like 10 out of 10 for revenue, but it's a 3 out of 10 for profit. And that's important to notice. Question 3, energy cost. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much energy did this take? Here, 1 is light and easy, barely thought about it, it was great, and 10 is this took over my brain and my life and I hated every minute of it. Ask yourself, did it feel heavy? Was it super complex? Did it pull you away from your family or did it impact your health? Question 4, joy. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much joy did this give you? 1 is I dreaded this. 10 is this is my zone of genius. I could do this all day. Did you like the clients or the students? Did you enjoy delivering it? Did it feel aligned with the kind of business you want in 2026? And if you're listening while you're on the go right now, just let 1 or 2 offers float to the top in your mind. The ones that were pretty profitable and didn't totally wreck your energy. Those are the ones we want more of in 2026. And if you're sitting down with a notebook later, you can literally draw a table or make 4 columns: revenue, profit, energy, joy, and give each offer a quick score out of 10. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not doing tax returns here. We're just looking for patterns. What actually worked for my bank account and for my brain this year? That's what we want. That's the goal of this step. Because here's the mistake so many course creators make. They only look at revenue and forget to look at profit and energy. You can have a 100K launch that looks amazing on Instagram, but if you spend 60K on ads and support, worked 80-hour a week for 3 months, and they needed 2 months to recover and ended up being resentful towards your students, that might not be your base 2026 vehicle. I want you to circle 2 things from this little table. The offers or projects that were profitable and that didn't completely drain you. The work that made you feel most like you, where your gifts, your clients, and your energy perfectly lined up. Those circled items, that's the raw material for your 2026 success map. If you only did more of those and less of the rest, your entire year would feel different. So that's step 1. Look at what actually worked, not just what made money, what made profit, and what made sense for your life. Okay, once you've got a rough sense of what actually worked in 2025, now you're going to protect the most important resource in your 2026 plan, your time and your brain. So step number 2 is block off rest and thinking time, and then double it. Once I have my what worked list, the next thing I do is going to sound completely backwards for a business podcast. I don't start by scheduling launches. I don't start with revenue goals. I start by blocking off rest. And because I know myself, I don't just block off rest and thinking time. I block it off and then I double it. Here's why. With ADHD, my brain loves to obsess over work. If there's white space on the calendar, I will fill it with work. Ideas, offers, collaborations, new funnels, things that need to be cleaned up, things that need to change. I will come up with any project as soon as there's white space. And before I know it, I've committed myself into another year of no real time off. So now when I plan a new year, I do this. I open my calendar for the whole of 2026. I block off school holidays, number 1. Family trips that I want to take, or honestly, in most cases, family trips I know my husband wants to take because he's the one who constantly needs to travel and wants to go places and take holidays. And frankly, I'm perfectly content working, but I love it when we do go on holidays. And of course, I'm not going to let him go on holidays alone. So I block off the school holidays and block off the family trips that he's going to organize. I block off birthdays or anniversaries, special events, long weekends I want to take. 2 or 3 nothing but rest weeks and regular long weekends. Then I block off time for deep thinking. Quarterly CEO days, meetings with myself. Maybe one CEO week in the middle of the year, a little mid-year retreat. Just me and my notebook and my laptop and my thoughts and my dreams and my planning. And then I double it. So if I think I'll take 1 week off in July, I make it 2 weeks. If I think I'll have a CEO day once a quarter, I make it 2 days. Because here's the honest truth. Kids get sick, launches run long, random life stuff pops up, and I know I am not going to honor 100% of the time I blocked off. I know I'm not going to honor my own commitment. And I've made peace with that. I have a buffer for that. And here's what this looked like for me in 2025. I blocked off every last Friday of the month for deep thinking. Mostly that happened, but I did miss a couple of Fridays. I blocked off 1 week every school holiday, and I never ended up taking any of those weeks off. I blocked off 3 weeks in July for holiday and 3 weeks in December and January. And thanks to my husband's fabulous travel planning, I did end up taking those holidays. And I will confess that I did a bit of work here and there when we were on holiday, but I actually don't mind it. I love it when I can do, like when I have big open space and I can build stuff or think about stuff. I also blocked off 2 days every quarter that I intended on booking myself into a hotel and using that time for content creation or focused work. And that didn't happen. So see, 50% of the time I blocked off ended up actually taking away from my computer. So if I plan for double, I might actually take half. And half is still a lot better than nothing. Why is this part of your 2026 map? Because you are the biggest asset in your business. Your brain, your creativity, your energy. If your calendar is wall-to-wall Tetris board of launches, client work, content, student support, social media, 2026 is going to feel like 2025 with a different label. So as you plan your year, I want you to imagine your business is a garden. Rest and thinking time is the water and the sun. If you don't water the garden, it doesn't matter how perfectly you map out the crops. So, practical action for you here. After this episode, open your 2026 calendar and ask, where am I definitely not working? When am I spending time with my people? When am I stepping away from the business to zoom out and think? Put it in the calendar and then add more. That's step 2. If you want 2026 to be your most profitable and joyful year in business, listen up. I've opened up a handful of spots for one-on-one mentoring with me, where we'll use my deep scaling framework to figure out exactly why your customers aren't buying like they used to, stop your ad costs from eating your profit, get AI working for you instead of burying you in more content and to-dos, and clean up your funnels and data so you always know what's working and what to do next. This is for you if you're already selling your course, but you're stuck in that revenue roller coaster, working harder and harder without seeing it in your bank account. Inside mentoring, it's you, me, and my AI system built from over 7 years of knowledge in launching and scaling courses with ads. We're going deep on your offers, your messaging, your funnels, and your numbers so you can scale wider by going deeper, not by burning yourself out with more. You also get instant access to our brand new course, Scale with Ads, valued at $5,000. If you want my brain in your business in 2026, head to thelaunchlounge.com/mentor me. That's mentor me. thelaunchlounge.com/mentor me. Or just click the link in the show notes and fill out the short application. I keep this super high touch, so spots are very limited. All right, let's get back to the episode. Step 3 is cut what no longer serves you. Once rest and thinking time are blocked in, then I start looking at what I need to let go of. And this is where it gets a little spicy. Because sometimes we've built offers or routines or entire business models that technically work, but they no longer serve the version of us who's walking into 2026. Maybe it's a membership that takes constant energy but doesn't grow. That's what happened to me. Maybe it's a one-on-one service that drains your soul, even though the clients are lovely. A weekly live call that you dread but you feel guilty canceling. A social media platform you're only on because everyone says you should be. When I feel resistance to planning the year, it's often because I'm quietly trying to drag all of my old commitments into my new season. So here's the question I sit with. If I was starting from scratch in 2026, would I recreate this? If the answer is a clear yes, it stays. If the answer is maybe, but not like this, it goes in the redesign bucket. If the answer is absolutely not, it goes in my cut list. And let me tell you, this feels scary. Sometimes you're cutting something that still makes money, still works on paper, still looks good on social media. But if it's not profitable, or it's burning you out, or it's crowding out the things that could work better, it is not serving your 2026 self. And I found again and again that as soon as I cut the thing that no longer serves me, the clarity about what should replace it shows up very quickly. It's like trying to redecorate a room while it's still full of old furniture. You can't see the new layout until you haul the old couch out the door. So for this step, make 3 quick lists. Number 1, keep as is. So things that are profitable and aligned. Number 2, keep but redesign. Things that could work if they were simpler or more joyful or better structured. Number 3, release. Things that are no longer coming into 2026 with you. You do not have to know the full plan for how to wind them down today. Just be honest with yourself about which category they fall in. Your future self will thank you for it. Now, step 4, choose your top 3 revenue drivers and plan promotions and list building. Now, we've looked at what worked, we've protected your time and your brain, and we've created space by cutting what no longer serves you. Now we're ready for the part that most people start with, your 2026 revenue map. And here's where a lot of online business owners go wrong. They try to have 7 different offers, launching every single month with no real focus. Or they map out all these launches, but they never plan how they're going to bring in new people between those launches. So their year looks like launch to the same list, launch to the same list, launch to the same list. And eventually the list is tired. Open rates drop and they're like, why isn't this working anymore? So here's the rule I use for my 2026 map. and the one I want you to try. Pick 3 main revenue drivers. That's it. A revenue driver is any offer you sell. Choose the ones that has potential to carry a big chunk of your annual revenue and that you actually like delivering. It could be your flagship course or a membership or a high-ticket group coaching program or a done-for-you service. But I want you to pick 3 max, not 12. And look back at your audit from step 1 and ask, which 1 to 3 offers were both profitable and energizing? And circle those, and that's your starting point. Now, for each one, we do 2 things. A, we put promotion dates in our calendar. For each of your 3 revenue drivers, decide how many times will I promote this in 2026. Are those promotions live launches or ongoing evergreen promotions with a few big push moments? And then sketch it into your calendar around your holidays and your rest time. Remember, we already protected your time off. Now we're placing promotions into what's left, not the other way around. You don't need exact dates yet. Even launch A, late March, launch B, late August, is enough for now. The goal is to be able to glance at your year and see, oh, okay, in Q1 I'm focused on offer A. In Q2 and Q3, offer B gets the spotlight. In Q4, it's offer C. Already that alone will make 2026 feel calmer. But we're not done. The next thing you're going to do is commit to how you'll build your list for each offer. This is the part most people skip. For every revenue driver, ask, how am I going to consistently bring new people into my world for this offer between promotions? Let 2026 be your year of list building. This could look like a lead magnet that's tightly connected to the offer, a monthly or quarterly free workshop, an evergreen webinar, a quiz, collabs, or bundles with other creators, a podcast or a YouTube funnel pointing to a freebie. The point is not to do everything. The point is to pick 1 or 2 key list building strategies per offer and actually commit to them. For example, you might decide offer number 1 is going to have an evergreen quiz that leads into a nurture sequence, plus 1 live workshop before each launch. Offer B might be a lead magnet plus a weekly podcast call to action, plus 1 joint webinar with a partner in Q3. Offer C might be simple check-ins, lead magnets with paid ads, plus a challenge once a year. Now when you look at your map, you can see, when are you resting? When are you promoting? And what are you doing between to keep your pipeline full and your list growing? And that is a success map, not just a wish list. And it also has no time mapping planning guru written all over it. So let's zoom out and put this in one picture for you. Your 2026 success map, my way. Analyze what worked. Look at profit and energy, not just revenue. Circle what was profitable and aligned. And go listen to episode number 325 if you want help with those numbers. Block off time for holidays and deep thinking and then double it. Your rest and CEO time goes in the calendar first. And you double it because real life will eat some of it. Remember, you're the asset, so protect your asset. Cut what no longer serves you. Ask, would I recreate this if I was starting fresh? Keep, redesign, or release. And trust that clarity shows up quickly once you clear space in your brain and your calendar. Then choose your top 3 revenue drivers and commit to list building. Pick up to 3 profitable, energizing offers. Mark approximate promo periods for each one. Decide exactly how you'll build your list for each one. Let 2026 be your year of list building. And please remember this. You do not have to plan your year like all the productivity bros on the internet. If big, rigid, color-coded annual plans shut your brain down, you're allowed to do it another way. Your success map can be a messy notebook page, a simple spreadsheet, or sticky notes on your wall. What matters is that it protects your energy, focuses your brain, and gives your brain something simple and doable to follow. So here's a tiny bit of homework for you. Go open a Google Doc or grab your notebook and title it My 2026 Success Map. And write these 4 headings. Number 1, what worked? Look at your profit and your energy. Number 2, time off and double it. Number 3, what am I releasing? Number 4, my 3 revenue drivers. You don't have to fill it out all today. Just create the document. Put those 4 headings at the top. That's it. That's the whole homework. Because once it exists, your brain will start filling it in. All right, friend, that's my 2026 planning process for you, fully revealed. If this episode gave you a bit of a sigh of relief, like, oh, I'm allowed to plan my year like this, then I want you to do 2 things. Subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss the rest of our 12-part series, which is coming to an end. Take one tiny action today. Maybe it's doing that simple audit of your offers from this year. Maybe it's blocking off the extra week of rest. Maybe it's writing down your top 3 revenue drivers at the top of a fresh page. Tiny, simple, imperfect steps that add up to wildly different year. And hey, if you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you take a screenshot of your podcast app or where you're listening, share it to your Instagram stories and tag me at _launch_lounge so I can cheer you on as you build your 2026 success map. On Thursday this week, we continue the series on building a profitable and joyful 2026 with an episode called One More Launch is Keeping You Stuck. And I'll reveal exactly why your next live launch might be the reason you're experiencing that revenue plateau and what to do about it in 2026. Until then, take a deep breath, take your brain seriously or not so seriously. And remember, you're allowed to build business that actually works for you. That is what your freedom empire is. I'll see you on Thursday. Bye. Before you hit play on the next podcast, I want you to think about something. If nothing changed in your business, would 2026 look any different from 2025? If your answer is, not really, then my mentoring program might be exactly what you need. In my one-on-one mentoring, we spend a few months together diagnosing why your growth has stalled or feels so hard, tightening up your offers so they feel irresistible again, fixing your funnels and launch mechanisms so they actually protect your profit, and using AI in a smart, strategic way so you can work less while your marketing works harder. This isn't another course you have to get through. It's you and me, side by side, looking at your real numbers, your real audience, your real offers, and building a plan to make 2026 your most profitable and joyful year yet. Your real Freedom Empire year. You also get access to our brand new course, Scale with Ads, valued at $5,000. If you're an established course creator who's ready for that kind of support, go to thelaunchlounge.com/mentorme. That's mentor me. thelaunchlounge.com/mentorme and fill out the quick application. Tell me about your business, your goals for 2026, and I'll personally review it and let you know if it's a good fit. Again, that's thelaunchlounge.com/mentorme, or just tap the link in the show notes. I cannot wait to see what we create together in 2026.